build a side hustle or I need to build a new vertical of my business, but I don't know which one to do. I don't know if I should do an app first or a digital product or.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you, as always, for joining me. All right, today, I feel like people get hung up on this so much. And they're like, Greg, I know I need to do something. I know I need to build a side hustle or I need to build a new vertical of my business, but I don't know which one to do. I don't know if I should do an app first or a digital product or this or that. Like, okay, let's go ahead and use this episode. You do not have to pay me any money. Let's just use this episode to talk about what should you do. All right. You guys, there's just a couple things that you need to think about. I think more importantly than what it is that you do is who you're serving and what problem are you solving for those people and making sure that those people actually want that problem solved. Okay, so I want to just set the premise here that is the most important thing. But I do want to answer this and address this. And honestly, for someone that's at that level, you really don't, you don't need to pay me yet. Okay, you don't need to pay me if you're trying to find out, should I build an app or build a digital product or whatnot. The time you need to pay my company is when you are ready to execute and you know that the demons are near and present, and you know that the enemy is going to tell you you can't do it, you're not good enough. You're going to want to basically play around and create a whole bunch of stuff, knowing damn well that nobody knows who the hell you are. And nobody's coming to get your stuff anyways because you got an audience of about 4 people, including 2 of your family members and your neighbor. So you already know, ain't nobody buying your stuff. Nobody knows you. And you haven't made it clear on how you truly help people to the common person. Okay, so with that said, let me just answer the few things that you need to decide which vehicle are you going to use, okay? Understanding this is not the most important thing, but I think it is important for you all to at least have some concept of, okay, this is the direction that I need to go. There's a few questions that I think are important to ask, and here are some of those questions. I think the first thing is, where are you at right now in your practice? Or you don't even have a practice, okay? I think that is important. I think number 2, I would say is, what are you wanting to get from it? There's some of you that you're like, man, if this can make me a couple $100, I'm good. A couple $100 a month, man, I'm good. If that's the case, honestly, doing a very, very simple digital product is probably going to be the best way to go for the most part. Maybe even an app. That's going to probably be the best way to go. All right. So number 3 is, how comfortable are you with regards to marketing? And by the way, let's just talk about the vehicles real quick. There's digital product, there's membership, there is an app, there is solution-based offers. Okay, and then there's content, creation. People are making money just by putting themselves out there and getting brand deals. With that said, I've made money in all 4 of them. Okay, I've made money with an app, I've made money with digital products, I made money with a membership, I made money with solutions-based offers, and now I've made money with just my content and just pushing out my content and other companies that I have the same audience as them. I have the trust of the audience, and then they pay me to talk about their product. Okay, so I've gotten paid in all 5. I think it's important to know that if I am not someone that's comfortable with being online and I don't want to be on social media, you're not going to be able to really do well with a digital product. You're not going to be able to do really well with an app. You're not going to be a content creator because that's not your jam. Sorry, I have something in my throat, but it's not your jam. But what would be your jam is a solution-based offer. You're already doing stuff in a clinic. You could create some of those things, whether it is a digital product, a membership, but you're going to do it for people that are already coming to your facility. Okay. If you are someone that you're very comfortable with getting in front of new people, you're going to be able to drive traffic and drive business to a digital product, an app, or even potentially a membership. Okay. If you're kind of in the middle where it's all right, I'm not really great with putting myself out there, I do have a little bit of an audience with patience, but I'm willing to put myself out there, then a membership is probably going to make a lot of sense for you. Okay. But if you're that person, it's like, look, man, I will put myself out there. I will totally do it. Then I would say content creator, branding. And if you can get that part right and become a good content creator, you will be able to sell a digital product. And you could also, sell an app as well. Okay. So there's just things for you all to think about. I think another big thing is what do you want this vehicle to do for you? Is it just a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there? Or is it like, no, I want this thing to make hundreds of thousands of dollars for me. And then the last thing I would say is, what's your timeline? Because if you want to make like six figures from your vehicle and you want to be able to do it in 12 to 24 months, I'm just going to tell you straight up, you are not doing that if you are starting from scratch. It is very rare for that to happen. You're going to have to leverage or pull from something that you're already doing that has success, okay? Today, if I wanted to create a new digital product, I could make easily $100,000 or more off of it in the first year, because I already have the foundation and the base of an audience, okay? I just have to do an audience offer match, but I already have the audience. If you do not have the audience and you're starting from scratch, you are not going to make over 100K in your first year. It is not going to happen. And if it does, please call me out. I'll actually even let you come on my podcast and talk about how wrong I was. Okay. It is not going to happen. It only will happen if you already have a massive foundation. So what is your timeline? If it is a year or less, I got to make money. Do something, work with something you already have. You already have an audience, work with that. You already have an audience that's paying you money online, work with that. You have an audience, but they're not paying you online, but they do value you in person, work with that. Solutions-based offer, okay? You have an audience, they value you, they haven't paid you online, they pay you in person. Okay, start putting maybe a digital product or put an app or put a membership inside of their plan of care, inside of their package that they buy from you. These are the things that you need to be thinking of. Now, here's what I did. I created a 5-question quiz. And in that 5-question quiz, it basically is going to ask you these 5 questions, and it will take your answers and then tell you this is probably the best vehicle for you. Okay. So if you text the word vehicle to 813-534-6453, I'll send it to you. And yes, I want you to take the quiz. I think that'd be great. There is no opt-in required. Just take the quiz. I just want to help you guys. But I can tell you it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is knowing who your audience is, knowing their pain points, them understanding that you get it, that you understand, and that you already help them with stuff for free before they even have to drop one dime. And if you can do that, then more than likely one of these vehicles is going to work. You just got to pick which one makes the most sense for you and then make the most sense for your customers. So I hope that helps you guys. Much love. Until next time.